Hello, Tim from Fairplay Now on the 26th of August 2023. So second video from me today. The other one's a really interesting interview. I urge you to check that one out. Not only the little one on this platform, but the full thing, but details in that other video. So what I want to talk to you about today is kind of a follow on from what I was saying yesterday. And it's going on about all of this scaremongering, or whatever you want to call it, or things that some people think are in store for us. But boy, oh boy, if there's one message which seems to be coming through loud and clear from everybody, is simply just do not consent, do not comply. And I certainly would echo that. And I don't think it's just people in the freedom movement. I think it's a wider, much wider group of people, a lot of people who are also saying that they will simply not comply with any future kind of government diktats, tyrannical diktats. And it's great to see. This sort of pushback is great to see. And in the video yesterday, I was talking about some kind of visual signal of that. Now, as you probably know, I'm not one for all of this nonsensical virtue signalling. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, so it probably won't surprise you that I had absolutely no time whatsoever for that clapping on the doorstep near the start of the lurgy. I just refused to do that. As soon as I heard that people were doing that, I thought, nah, I'm not going to be doing that. And certain people said, well, I think you should be doing it. And I said, well, why? It's just not the kind of thing we do in this country. It's not a British thing to do. Yes, it's a North Korean sort of thing to do. Yes, it's a Chinese thing to do. But it's not the British thing to do. Just stand there at the command of the government and clapping a government institution. I just thought, how ridiculous. And then all of the rest of the virtue signalling, sort of thank you NHS for the little rainbow symbols that lots of people had on their front doors and in their windows, and not to mention the Ukrainian flag flying here, there and everywhere in this country. I just thought, nah. So virtue signalling isn't for me, but anti-virtue signalling, or whatever the opposite of virtue signalling, might be something that I would consider, and indeed is something I am going to consider. So this kind of idea that I've had of a virtue, visible virtue signal, or anti-virtue signal, should I say, is I'm simply just going to put a light. You probably can't even see this, it's too bright, but that is sort of, I think it is. Might have to check the battery, but anyway, that will be visible at night. And what I'm going to do is just put it in an upstairs window. Might not be that light if it runs out of batteries, but a light. You could do a candle, but obviously be careful of the fire risk of doing that. You might be better off just doing like an electric candle like that, or any form of light, and stick it in a window. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm going to just put a light in the window, and that is going to be sending out a message from this household, that to the wider world and the universe. It's going to send out the message that this is a free and sovereign household with a free sovereign man and a free sovereign woman who live here, and we in no way, shape or form will tolerate or accept any kind of future government tyranny, diktats, orders, mandates that remove our freedoms. We will not tolerate our freedoms being removed by the government and the powers that shouldn't be. And if you try to do so, we will push back in obviously a peaceful, lawful way, but we will push back however we can, and we will not tolerate it. And the light in the window is going to be my way of signalling to the world that I will not, definitely 100% will not accept any more government interference into my life, any more government tyranny. And yeah, I think a visible signal like that kind of just shows a bit of intention there, and it's a visible signal, and it kind of circling back to the whole clapping for the NHS on the front door there. It's kind of, that was an effective weapon that they used against the population. I think that was all part of the brainwashing that the powers that shouldn't be used, and why they got such a good result. And this is kind of almost using that sort of tactic, or at least that kind of general idea, against them. So that is also why I quite like the idea to do this. So from tonight onwards, for however long it takes until the powers that shouldn't be drop this latest round of nonsense, I am going to be shining that light in an upstairs front window, and anyone who sees it and the whole world will know that this household and the people, the man and the woman in this house, do not in any way, shape or form accept government diktats and government tyranny. So that's going to be a powerful message emanating out from this place. And like I say, I'm not suggesting anyone else does this. If you want to join me, that would be great. I think it would, especially if there's loads and loads of people doing it. It would send out a powerful message. But yeah, feel free to join me if you want to in that. And if you have any better ideas, you know, something that's even better than this light idea of mine, which I want to call sort of lights of freedom. Let's call it a light for freedom. You know, that's as good a name as any. But if you can think of any better ideas, yeah, sort of well, either let me know or just start doing it. And if it takes off, I'll no doubt hear about it through the grapevine. So gonna leave you with that one. Tell me what you think in the comment section below, and about that idea, and about these sort of possible latest government impositions, and what you feel about it. But the way I feel about it, as I've kind of laboured a little bit in this video, is I simply will not consent. I simply will not comply. So gonna leave it there. Back soon. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.